All right. Welcome in Toilets to Titles, episode number 52. It's the final pre-NFL draft rookie mock. The gang's all here, man. I'm super excited. I'm firing. I'm ready to go. I think everybody else is. We got a few guests. It's a culmination of a long time, a lot of months of prep work here, and we're ready to get it going. And the thing is, we're ready to do this draft, and this is all going to get blown up in about a few days when all these players go to their teams and things change big time. But anyway, we have with us a new member of Toilets to Titles, all right, at Dirty Jobs 21, Mike D. Mike, formerly of Sleeper Wire. We are happy to have him. We can finally make the announcement. He is here. Mike, what's cooking, my guy?
Not much, man. I'm glad to be on board. I'm very excited. I really like this team. You guys have always been good friends, especially Justin. Man, me and Justin were on the Blitz a lot together. So definitely appreciate the open arm invite. I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited to just have some fun with you guys this year. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Man, Dirty Jobs, it just fits. Toilets to Titles, Dirty Jobs, fits well.
Yes, a match made in heaven. That was a cheers to you, Justin, right there, to your water bottle, to my shock top.
I'll cheers in there, too. Great, man. We're happy to have you. Mike does a little bit of everything, so he's going to be a big veteran presence in the T2T clubhouse, so we're looking forward to it. All right, so let me introduce everybody else. Next to me, my main man, Justin Stevens, at JustinFF_. Justin, what's cooking?
Hey, how's it going tonight, John? Are we a little excited? I know you love these mocks. You love these mocks.
Man, I'm fired up, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see these players on their NFL teams. It's just, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. I know another guy is fired up. Rich, the Frito Bandito himself, at R Gonzalez, RM. Rich, what's cooking?
I am here live. Got a tornado storms outside, so if you lose me, I'll be in spirit.
It's got dark. It just got very dark. He'll be here in spirit.
Hey, go hug the toilet, my man.
All right, well, at least we'll that. All right, and then with us, Ben. Ben, how we doing, Mike?
Good, mate. It's nice to be on during the daylight hours over here. It's mixing up. It's a bit different for me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning. This is good. I like this.
This show is for
1
you.
1 a.m. in the morning. So now we can't take advantage of him now because he's actually thinking clearly.
Yeah, thinking clearly, sharp. Had a healthy breakfast, walked the dog, ready to mock draft.
Here we go.
Man, how many mocks have you done with us now, Ben?
This will be the third.
You're a veteran, man. You're a veteran. We've been mocking like crazy. We're gonna keep mocking. We're gonna keep on mocking. All right, but we got some guests to bring on. Just want to let everybody know how they can listen to the show: Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Periscope, Spotify. We have a YouTube channel. All of those links are in our show notes. Also, you can find them on our Twitter handle at Toilets to Titles. And again, I'm at Coach Sheps on there. We share that all the time. If you're listening to the show, however you're listening to the show, we would really appreciate it. If you're on Apple Podcasts, throw us a 5-star review. Get into the Frankenstank League. You want to find out about Frankenstank? Go back and look at episode number 51. A great episode where we discuss that thing. We'll love to be playing with you guys. But go on there, throw us a 5-star review, take a picture of that, send it to us on Twitter, and we can get you in the league. Also, YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, throw us some comments. All of that will be greatly appreciated. And now all the formalities are out of the way. We still have one more, but we'll get to that a little later. But now we are going to bring on our guests. And we have a returning guest, Shane Hallam. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him into the booth here.
Hey.
So here we go. This is our guy. Go ahead, Shane.
No, I was just saying hi. It's nice to be back as always. I'm excited. 1 week till my favorite day 2 of the NFL draft.
Day 2. Well, that's where the gems are, right, man? For day 2 though. For the Cowboys, that's where we get guys who are injured and their draft stock plummeted. So really, it's like a bargain basement day for me. It's not my favorite day. This year, I think it's going to be Caleb Farley, but we'll see. But Shane, you can find him on Twitter at Shane P. Hallam. He's a fantasy football, NFL draft, college football analyst, fantasy and draft analyst for Fake Pigskin, co-host at Debbie Marketplace Podcast, and he's a draft analyst for SteelCityInsider.net. I messed that up quite a few times. But a few weeks ago, Shane was on discussing his most recent mock draft. I think he's got another one coming out, but you can go check that out. I think that was episode 50 or 49. But Shane, do you have any bold predictions before we bring in the next guests?
No. I'm excited for this mock, see where it goes, and I think it's always fun to do these and see how it changes after the draft. I'm sure it'll be radical, but maybe it shouldn't, and maybe that's what you should take away from this.
We're in a league together, and I do pick 5 in that league, and I think you do pick 2 in that league. And if you notice, the draft spots are like
I see what you did there, but
a little bit of practice. All right, let's bring in John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar. Bring him on in here.
Hey, gentlemen, what's
John,
up?
what's cooking?
Man, Friday night doing a
Ready to
mock
roll?
draft. What's better than that?
Hell yeah.
Nothing, man. And the draft's a week away, less than a week away. There's nothing better than that. Everybody go follow John on Twitter at GridironSkull91. He has tons of great draft content. If you need, like, between these two guys, Shane, John, you go on there, you check their Twitter. You're going to be, if you study their stuff, you're going to be in pretty good shape. Even if you knew nothing before you started following them, you'll be pretty good shape within the week just by reading their articles. But John, you can find again on Twitter at GridironSkull91. He is a college fantasy football and NFL fantasy football analyst at Fantasy Football Diehards at FF Diehards, and he's the co-host of College Fantasy Football on Campus and the Draft Seminar. All right, let's bring in Kyle Bellfuel. There he is. He's ready, man. Kyle, our resident. He's a big time guest too. We've had him on multiple times, just like Shane. He's a big time Packers fan. Kyle, how you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm happy to be back and hanging with you guys. And mock drafts are always fun. So, man, I'm excited.
Do you have any what's your bold prediction for the Green Bay Packers? What are they doing?
I think we're probably not going quarterback round 1.
Yeah. Hey, man, they're going to triple down. Kyle Trask, baby.
Yeah, Kyle Trask. I would love to make some bold prediction, but I have no clue what they're going to do. Last year, I was a loss for words for about 5 minutes after the pick came across, and I think I told you before I thought it was going to be Patrick Queen, and I wanted it to be that way. And I was pretty surprised. We could obviously use a wide receiver. I think that's been brought up a few times over the last few years. I guess I don't have any bold predictions because I have no idea what to expect with Green Bay anymore.
All right, where the Packers pick, what is a wide receiver you think could be there that you would want?
Man, I think Elijah Moore would be a guy I'd like. I just think they could really do a lot of things with him. He's really good in the slot. He's great with the ball in his hands. He's fast, and LaFleur will know what to do with him, move him around, and he's a guy that I would like. And Terrace Marshall will be another one I've seen mocked that would be a nice pick too. But yeah, those are 2 guys that I'm digging. I don't know if we went 7 rounds without a wide receiver last year. Maybe we'll double down there too. Who knows?
Yeah. It's possible. But I didn't let everybody know your Twitter handle. It's at KBell54. Family man, Packers fan, lifetime golfer with 0 holes in ones. That's his Twitter bio there. He's a contributor for IDP guys. He knows his IDP stuff. And Kyle, I think I'm going to have to get you on. I'm going to have to schedule an IDP rookie mock for the few weeks after the NFL draft. We have to get that going, man. At least a 2-rounder. I think that'd be great. So I can take Hufanga in the first round and tell everybody that I had him first,
Yes. Let's do it, man. I'm always down. I'm a defensive guy.
Right.
So just let me know.
Shane, I know Shane wants a running back for the Steelers. So which running back you want, Shane?
I want Travis Etienne if they're going to take one of the first, but I think Najee Harris will be the apple of their eyes. So I imagine I'll be disappointed on Thursday.
I feel you, Shane.
Usually the Steelers, I'm good. Usually it goes well, but not this year. I don't think so.
Don't expect to be let down because then you just let it ruin the time leading up to the draft. If you're going to be let down after the draft,
But as long as you expect it, you don't end up with a bottle of whiskey in bed like the Packers fans, you know? You don't want that. Or the 49ers fans when they take Mac Jones at number 3. You know, all those fans are going to end up with a bottle of whiskey in their bedroom. So, you know, it's okay.
That was way too accurate.
I think we could have a whole hour. Discussing who the 49ers are going to take, because I honestly I keep going back and forth, but that's not for today. John, you're a Broncos fan. Before we get going on this mock, who are you hoping the Broncos take?
Justin Fields. Trade the house. I don't give a toots about next 3 years if we don't get a quarterback. We are in quarterback purgatory. We've got to get out of quarterback purgatory. We have a ready-made offense. Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy. Melvin Gordon's fine for you 1 year. The offensive line is improved. Fangio can play defense. Quarterback. We don't fix it, we're not doing anything. Plus, we got to pay Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert for at least the foreseeable future. You got to put points on the board. You're not going to beat Mahomes 2 or 3 times a year, 17-14. You got to put some points on the board.
Justin Herbert too, man. Mahomes, Herbert.
Yeah, I mean,
Rich is already.
Yeah, but you're not going to win. If you want to win the AFC, you'll probably get through Kansas City 3 times. You're going to have to put points on the board.
Facts.
Or get some speedy linebackers.
You know, it's a new league, man. I want defense, but you're not winning. You can't score. You got to score, man. We can't score.
That's why the Cowboys are going to – yeah. That's why the Cowboys are going to move up and take Pitts.
Well, that's
for those reasons.
Now, their defense is atrocious, so they got the other problem.
Hey, Ben, since Ben is our sound drop guy, just so you know, any episode that John has been on, that's the episode to listen to because he has the best sound drops.
Yes.
We gotta score. Like this man, he's got the best sayings, and he.
We'll accumulate a book slowly.
Excellent. All right. But just if you're listening to today's episode, brought to Primetime Sports Talk, your top source for all major sports content, including DFS, fantasy advice, and great gambling tips. Be sure to head to primetimesportstalk.com to check out their in-depth analysis, exclusive articles, fascinating interviews, and explore the rest of their amazing podcast family. Again, primetimesportstalk.com, your go-to for sports content. All right, guys, we got a 4-round PPR, tight end premium, super flex, rookie mock draft. Let's get this thing going. We're going to go through these picks, pick 1 through 12. I'm going to tell you the draft order real quick. I don't even know if I need to. The draft order will you all know what your draft order is. Justin's going to put it up on the screen if you're watching at home. So it's all going to work out. Mike, Dirty Jobs, it's your first episode with the Untitled crew. We gifted you with the first selection in Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I'll let you place it.
Yeah, I mean, like in a super flex, that's who I'm going to grab. You know, you got to go for the future here. And he's a good shot at it. You know, I mean, he's got good potential landing spots. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Najee Harris is just sitting there staring at me, though. I'm like, man, like I almost have to take this guy. I almost have to, but I'm good with this. I'm good with him. Have we started it off yet? Have we kicked it off? I'm not showing any clocks yet.
Yeah, man. Make the start. Put it in there.
There's our clock. There we go. We got Trevor Lawrence at the 1. Boom.
All right, Shane. Pick number 2. I'm not going to say I'm watching this extra closely, but I might be watching this extra closely. Here on the clock.
Look, this is an easy pick for me, and it's Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields have been the best quarterbacks in the country since their junior year of high school. I don't care where Justin Fields goes in the draft. I don't care that he's not going to be the second quarterback off the board or the third quarterback off the board, perhaps. But if he goes somewhere like the Broncos or the Patriots or the Washington football team or the Bears, I'm in. I think he has the skill set to not only be a great player and passer and quarterback, but he has the skill set to be an excellent fantasy asset as a runner. And I think he can do both those things tremendously. I'll put my eggs in the Justin Fields basket.
I dig it. Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence are off the board as they should be. John, Mr. Laub, you are on the clock. Team number 3. What are you taking?
I'm going to swerve here, and people might be shocked, but I cannot bypass Najee Harris here. The Alabama battering ram is a stud. In my model, he's the 6th best running back prospect of the last 8 years. He's a pass-catching machine. I have him graded out as the best pass catcher in this class. He's above Gainwell and ETN in my book. He is a wide receiver playing running back at 230 pounds. He's a short yardage back. He's a good pass blocker. He is everything you need out of a back. I love Najee. I can't pass him up here.
Dig it. All right. Najee Harris off the board. I love it. Kyle Bellfuel, you were on the clock. Pick number 4.
I am gonna. What am I gonna do here? I'm gonna go and take a guy with a really good first name, and he's really good at his position. And since it's tight end premium, I'm gonna take Kyle Pitts. He's a big athletic dude. He's basically a wide receiver out there. He can do everything. I mean, 12 touchdowns this year. I mean, there's plenty of analysis going on how he's the man at tight end, and this being tight end premium, I think I like the positional advantage there. So I'm going to go Kyle Pitts if I can figure out how to click it
here. All right, we believe in you, man.
I believe you can do
it. That's a sound drop. There we go. So Kyle Pitts is off the board, number 4. And honestly, that's who I thought I was going to get at 5. I was kind of expecting it to be Pitts. And he's gone. Najee's gone. And my second favorite quarterback prospect in this class is available. Trey Lance, I think he's got a tremendously high ceiling. I think he'll probably be the 3rd or 4th quarterback taken in the NFL draft. So I think the team he's going to land on is going to be in a much better position for him to succeed. So I really like his chances. He's big. He's physical. He's got a good arm. He can run. He could run very well. So I think in today's day and age, this guy, his ceiling is tremendously high. And I like him in Denver. I know John's hoping for Fields, but if he ends up in Denver and he's playing against Mahomes twice a year and he's playing against Justin Herbert twice a year, he's going to have to put up points, and I can see him putting up a lot of those. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Trey Lance with the 5th pick. And after I make that selection, Ben, you are on the clock.
Can I say one thing? Because I think everyone's ignoring this with Trey Lance. If you're in a super flex league, the draft value of Trey Lance is going to be attached to your roster construction. There is a very good chance Trey Lance does not take a snap as a rookie. He only played 17 games, and he never played at Division I. He played at the FCS level. If you need a plug-and-play quarterback, there is no guarantee Trey Lance is going to play 16 games for you. I think everyone's they're not thinking about the floor. Patrick Mahomes did not play his rookie year. I think everyone's avoiding the fact that Trey Lance has a very good chance to sit his first year. Now, if you have good quarterbacks,
but now would you regret taking Mahomes even though he didn't play in the first year?
I'd have to look at the board and the roster construction, but no one had him going as a top 3 super flex. No one. He was available in the 3rd and 4th round of drafts. It wasn't even in the ballpark of discussion.
Well, I'm taking Lance for ceiling. I like his ceiling. I think he's a gamer, and I have him as my second quarterback. So that's what I'm doing.
No, I just wanted to get that.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I know. And last year, Herbert, I think, there was a little fear about Herbert last year, with Tyrod there, and, that whole thing happened. So, I mean, I understand that there's a chance he doesn't make a snap, but you never know with the NFL. It's crazy. And also, we don't even know where he's going. You know what I mean? So it could be Atlanta. He's going to sit behind Matt Ryan, so it could be a bad situation. It could be a good situation. But right now, in a mock, I'm going ceiling. And Ben, you were on the clock.
All right, Coach, I think you've made this easy for me. I'm going to take the guy who was the number one receiver on the team with Justin Jefferson in LSU 2019, dominating as a 19-year-old. I think this guy's going to be everything I thought Sammy Watkins would be. So, Jamar Chase at 1.6. Very happy with that pick. I think he's going to.
Jamar Chase is off the board.
Yeah. Be a number one receiver, hopefully on the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Okay. And that'll help you on your bathroom board bet with Nate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because Nate has Tua being benched this season, basically. that's what he has. So Jamar Chase will help him start. All right. So Jamar Chase is off the board with the 7th selection. We have Kyle. You're back on the clock with your second team. So it's a new team. Who are you taking? You're muted.
I'm muted. Okay, I'm unmuted. I'm gonna sorry. I'm gonna take Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. He had the big year this year. A lot of talk about him going number 2 to the Jets. Obviously, they need a quarterback. He's got really, really nice arm talent. He can make all kinds of throws. That throw he made against Coastal Carolina, that was a great game. That was one of the better throws I saw this year, throwing back across the field. He's a mobile guy. He can navigate the pocket. He can extend plays with his legs, and he should get a chance. And it being chance to play right away and succeed. So it being super flex, I'm gonna go Wilson.
I think it's the year of the throw across the body. Like with all those pro days, we saw more videos of quarterbacks rolling to the left and then throwing bombs across their body. That was like the showcase this year.
It was, absolutely.
All right. On the clock, Shane, I believe. No, Rich. Rich is on the clock with your first squad. Go ahead.
Yeah, with this pick right here, just the way the board's falling, I love this QB Mac Jones, and depending if he goes to the 49ers or just like what we say, he drops back, maybe going to the Patriots, maybe the Skins get him. I think he'll be set up on any good team right there just to kind of plug right in. Now I know with the Patriots he might sit behind Cam, but man, I think he's a great quarterback. He's had great offensive weapons around him and everything, and I think it's going to translate well for him to go into the NFL. And, man, I would love for him to go to Washington and have those kind of weapons around him too. So with that pick, I'm going to go Mac Jones.
And I don't really need much to make me excited to watch the NFL draft. So the way I'm built, I'm excited to watch the NFL draft. But Mac Jones is making this year very, very, very interesting because I have absolutely zero idea where he's going to go, how high he's going to go, if he's going to go top 10 or if he's even going to be in the first round. But I'm very excited. The first 2 picks are going to be chalk, Lawrence, Wilson, and then pick 3 comes up and it's going to be like fireworks, man. I cannot wait. Shane, your second team, you're on the clock. Go ahead.
Well, this is the easiest pick I think I'll make tonight. My RB1 is still on the board, and that's Travis Etienne, the running back from Clemson. I think he is just a phenomenal athlete. I think he has everything that you want in terms of agility. If you put him in a zone blocking scheme, one cut, let him go, hit that explosiveness, I think he has that type of Arian Foster ability in terms of making that one cut, like we saw Foster do in that zone scheme in Houston. I think Etienne is explosive. I think he has some of Dalvin Cook to him. He's tough, he can catch the football. This is a really nice scenario at the 1-9. With the quarterbacks off the board, I'll take Etienne to the bank.
Excellent. And you are hoping Etienne ends up in Pittsburgh. That's the zone blocking scheme you're hoping he learns.
Should be the change to the zone blocking scheme with Matt Canada there now. So if that happens, then I think he's their backup if Najee's gone. Yeah.
All right, I love it. All right, so I'm on the clock, and this is my second team, and we're going to start a little bit of a running back run here. I'm going to go Javonte Williams, running back, North Carolina. He's got burst, he's got power. I think this guy's got pro-ready running back written all over him. I think wherever he goes, he's going to step in. He's going to be a 3-down back, and getting him at 10, getting a guy who's going to be a running back 1 for whatever team he lands on. I think that's a pretty safe pick. Not every pick I think needs to be a home run, but I think I'm hitting at least a double here. So I'll take that. I want a sure thing, and I think I got one here. So Javonte Williams off the board. John, your second team, Mr. Laub, is on the clock.
I cannot believe my boy drafted. He fell here. I'm going Rashad Bateman, Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm going to stay honest to my board. I have Bateman as my number 2 wide receiver in this draft class. Absolutely love the film when I plug him into my model. He does very well in my model. What I like most about him, when you watch him, he lined up as an X, he lined up as a Z, and he lined up in the slot. He's multi-dimensional receiver. If you chart his routes run, he ran a lot of short crossing routes, a lot of routes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. But paradoxically, he also had the most routes run deep down the field. Rashad Bateman can do it all. I wish he was 6'2", 210, but 6'0", 190 is all right the way he reported. I'll take it. I'm a huge Bateman fan. I think he has the floor of Tyler Boyd and the ceiling of Cortland Sutton. I'll take him any day right here.
Excellent. All right, so Bateman is off the board, and now we have the last pick in the first round. It belongs to Ben. This is your second team. Make your selection.
Thanks, Coach. This is a bit tougher than the last pick. I'm going to take Devonta Smith here.
Of Duff Gold.
You took what was that?
I'm going to take Devonta Smith here. I don't know what that sound was. I prefer Jalen Waddle in real life, but I think in fantasy, Devonta Smith's just going to get those receptions. It's going to be that volume magnet, no matter where he ends up.
And I can't argue with that, but I can't let Waddle sit there any longer. The Alabama standout. I really like that guy. And boy, I'm really liking my team already. Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Waddle got me in. I'm a pretty happy camper right now already. I'm like, okay, we're looking good for 2021, boys.
Man, all right. That's when you have the first pick, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be.
Right.
Who do we have on the clock now? Shane, you're on the clock.
So I'm going to go with my wide receiver too. I don't think this is a strong receiver class, and I think that this isn't the receiver that'll get the highest draft capital next week. I don't think he's going to go in the first round of the NFL draft. But when I'm picking a receiver in the early second, I want a guy that can be an alpha, that could be a dominant receiver at the NFL. And I think Terrace Marshall has that ability with his size, his speed, his production for 3 years over the course of his time at LSU. So I'm going to take Terrace Marshall here. Jamar Chase in front of him, as Ben already pointed out, going to be an absolute stud. We already know Justin Jefferson's a stud. So it's not a shameful thing for Marshall to not have maybe the production of Devonta Smith. He doesn't need it. He has everything that you want in a receiver. You refine his footwork a little bit, and I think this guy is going to be a top 20 receiver in the NFL sooner rather than later.
So LSU has gone from being DBU. It is officially wide receiver U. That is not debatable. All right, third team, John. You are on the clock. Your first team is picked. And go ahead, my friend.
I'm doing my happy dance because my second favorite receiver in this draft is on the board. It is Elijah Moore, baby. I've been on Elijah Moore since November. He just destroyed the SEC. There was not a defense that could stop him. There wasn't a secondary that could slow him down. He checks every box you are looking for. Elijah Moore is my man. Let him land in Green Bay or New Orleans, baby. We're talking about 100-catch receiver. I can't believe I got him here, folks.
All right, Elijah Moore's off the board. That hurts a little bit. I was hoping to get him at the pick in the second round. He is not available. Kyle, your first team is on the clock. Go ahead.
I'm going to keep the wide receiver run going here, and I'm going to take Rondale Moore. That freshman season he had was really something. He's just absolutely dynamic, just a crazy athlete. And I know there's some, medical flags and whatnot. But the upside, I love his upside, and I'm really curious to see where he ends up and what system he goes to and how they use him. I think he's just a dynamic playmaker. So I'm gonna go Rondale Moore here.
Excellent. All right, Rondale Moore is off the board. I am up, and I'm going Tylan Wallace. This one is pretty easy for me. He's one of my favorite players to watch in this class. I love how physically aggressive he plays the game. He plays the game like, you'd expect to see a bunch of people playing in in a dirt field, on the side of a school. Like he plays it like he's having fun. He high points the football. He runs good routes. Am I a little worried that he's at Oklahoma State and the history of some Oklahoma State wide receivers? Yes. But again, I watched the games. I watched his film. He plays the game like an alpha wide receiver, and I want that on my squad. Getting him at 2.5, I'm pretty content with that. And let me put him on my roster. The pick is made. Ben, you are on the clock.
Thanks, Coach. So the pick that I'm going to take here, I'm going to take Kenneth Gainwell. I think that he's going to get that round 3 draft capital and be in a situation where he can catch a lot of passes. And I'll be able to slot him right in right away as a flex play.
All right, so Kenneth Gainwell is off the board. Next team we have on the clock, Kyle, your second team is picking. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Michael Carter, running back from North Carolina. He obviously was the running mate with Javonte Williams. They both put up some nice numbers. He's elusive back, catch the ball. I really like him. His tape was one of the running backs I watched that really caught my eye, and I'm going to go running back here, Michael Carter. And, Justin put it in. Yep.
Justin's driving the bus, man. He's got you covered. All right, so Michael Carter is off the board. Rich, you were on the clock.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Man, that was my don't want to draft kind of guy right there, Michael Carter. So I was hoping to take him right there. But with that being said, I am going to go with running back, and my pick will be Trey Sermon. Just looked great at Ohio. I actually feel like even though he might be a second, third round pick, he has a good opportunity to fall to a team, which I think would be like Pittsburgh or somebody like that, and have a good opportunity to have volume straight out from the gate.
All right, so Michael Carter. Well, no, I'm sorry. That Trey Sermon's off the board. Michael Carter's off the board. Kenneth Gainwell's off the board. We got 3 running backs in a row after a little bit of a wide receiver one. It was actually a big wide receiver run. Are we on a running back run now? Shane, you're up. You can answer that question. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to end it here, but I was hoping for Trey Sermon. I think he's going to go at least a half round higher in rookie drafts. I think if my team, the Steelers, don't take a running back in the first round, they'll take Sermon in the second. I think he's going to be the 4th running back off the board, so I think that's a great pick by Rich. Draft capital's king. If a player goes in the first round of the NFL draft, they have a better chance of making it, whether the fantasy community doesn't like them or the NFL draft community doesn't like them. I'm going to pick a player that neither community likes at all, but he's going to go in the first round. And if he goes to a good situation, then it's a win at the 209. I'm taking Kadarius Toney, wide receiver from Florida. I don't know what he's exactly going to do on the football field, where they're going to play him, if he's going to have the touches to have fantasy production. But at this point, I think that upside of first round draft capital is just too much to spare.
All right, I thought you were going to go for a player from the University of Miami with that pick, but I was wrong.
No.
So that might be a team. It might happen a little later on because it's tight end premium. All right, so let me update my board here to cut that player off. And all right, Kadarius Toney is gone. I am up, and I'm gonna go back to running back. I'm gonna go with Kylan Hill, running back. Love what he did at Mississippi State. I love what he did against SEC defenses. He ran for 1,450 yards back in 2019. I believe that led the SEC. He had 10 rushing touchdowns, 5.6 yards per carry. This past year, he played in 3 games with the new coach, and he had 23 receptions in those 3 games. So, I mean, the dude proved he could run it, and he proved in a short sample size that he can receive it. And he runs physical. He runs tough. I think a lot of people have forgot about him because he really didn't play much last year. But I think GMs probably didn't. I think he's going to go somewhere, and I think they're going to love how physically he does play the game. And I think he should see playing time pretty early on in his career. So Kylan Hill is off the board. Mr. Laub, you are back up.
Well, Kylan Hill was in my queue, so I was going to debate him. But Coach made the decision for me, so I have to pivot here. And I have one top 10 wide receiver on my board remaining. I opened up with the wide receiver here. All the great quarterbacks that I'm interested in are gone. I'm not going to go the second tight end on my board here. I'm not willing to invest that capital. I'm going to go with who I believe is very underrated. I like him a lot in my model. Love the film. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like pairing him up here with Rashad Bateman. The same things I said. He's not as dynamic as Bateman. I don't think he has the ceiling. But if you watch the film, Amon-Ra St. Brown is tough. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. I like that out of my receiver. Also, he's a versatile receiver. You can play him at all 3 positions. Now, I don't think he can start at X and give you 45 snaps from the X. But if you have a good offensive coordinator who will move him around the formation, he can take some snaps at the X. I think he's a natural Z and a slot receiver in the NFL. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll take him here.
All right, so Amon-Ra, probably the best name of the draft. That's one top name in this draft for sure. Is off the board. Ben, you're closing out the second round. You're on the clock. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, I'm going to take the highest running back on my board, the guy who, if he had sat out last season because of COVID and just sat on his 2019 stats, would probably be going a lot higher. And that's Chuba Hubbard.
Good pick.
I like it.
I like that too. That's who I was going to pick. So now I got to kind of like adapt and react. So I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson. I like this guy a lot. He's been, coming out of Oklahoma. He's just right next door to old Oklahoma State. So I guess I'm really not trading out too far out of division or out of the area. But he was good enough. I would rather have Chuba Hubbard right there, but we'll take Ramondre Stevenson. I'm good with that.
Big physical back is off the board. Third round, this is where it's going to be interesting to see. I think everything in the beginning is pretty much everybody's probably pretty close on the players somewhat. But in the third or fourth round, we're really going to see guys that we might see some sleepers here. We might especially having some draft gurus in here. I'm very excited to see who these guys pick. All right, so right now at the second pick, Shane, you are on the clock. Go ahead. No pressure.
Oh, I know. Look, I'm good.
Pressure.
Like I talked about last time with this number 2 pick. I mean, I want alpha potential receivers, guys that have the size, guys that can play outside, guys that have the athletic ability. I think there's a really underrated player that's going to get round 3 draft capital and has that potential. So I'm going to take him here, and that's Nico Collins, the wide receiver from Michigan. I think if you haven't really cued in, he sat out last season for Michigan, and Michigan is horrendous at developing its offensive talent. So, I don't really blame him for a lack of production. I blame Mr. Harbaugh over there in that state up north. And I think Nico Collins is going to really play his best football in the NFL.
All right, Nico Collins is off the board. John Laub, you're on the clock again with your first team. Go ahead.
First, I just got to say, I really wanted Nico Collins, and Shane got him. And as a lifetime Michigan fan who goes all the way back to Rick Leach, and when they lost the Rose Bowl to Warren Moon and Washington, I think it's 1978, Harbaugh is the absolute worst offensive coach in college football. For him to waste that talent at the wide receiver position with Donovan Peoples-Jones and Nico Collins is absolutely pathetic. If Nico Collins goes to Ohio State, he's a first-round draft pick. If he goes to LSU, he's a first-round draft pick. He's awesome. He's going to be very good. Shane, great pick right there. I watch Michigan football. 3rd and 5, he's doing fullback blast. 4th and 2, punt it. Just a terrible coach, folks. I'm going to go here with my tight end. I'm willing in the 3rd round in a tight end premium. I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth. I think the value's here. I can't go for him in the 2nd round because tight ends take a while to develop. But I like Pat Freiermuth a lot, and he might get – I'm not going to be surprised if he sneaks into the late 1st round. I will not be surprised. The NFL is going to like Pat Freiermuth a lot more than we do, folks, because Pat Freiermuth has the build, the frame, the physical nature, and he's a 2-down tight end. The NFL is going to like him a lot. If I think he's a top 50 pick, I'll take him here. You just have to have a little bit of patience. I don't think he's a dynamic impact player immediately, but when I have Najee Harris and Elijah Moore, I'm all right on this team taking Freiermuth and being patient.
All right, I like it. There goes our 2nd tight end. Finally, we got 2 tight ends off the board. And now, Kyle, you are on the clock. Your first team, go ahead.
I'm gonna double up on tight end here, and I'm gonna take Brevin Jordan. So if you guys need a tight end, let me know. I like Brevin Jordan. I think he moved all over, inline, slot, out wide, even at Miami. I think he's blocking wise, he's a willing blocker. It's some inconsistencies, but he can hold up there. I think with some work, and he's good with the ball in his hands after the catch. He can make things happen, and I'm gonna tight end premium. I'm just gonna load up on tight ends here, I guess.
All right, so Brevin Jordan is off the board. I'm on the clock. I'm going to go with Parsons, all right, from Oregon State, running back. This guy, he's not a guy I'm hearing a lot of buzz about, but I enjoyed his film. Not a lot of film out there, but the film I did watch, he jumped right off of the tape. His production, you look back, kid's a junior, only played 6 games this year at about 900 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns, average 6 yards per carry. And then you look at his freshman year, 239 carries for nearly 1,400 yards. The guy's got production. The defenses in his conference aren't too great. But again, I go back and watch his film. Again, this is the 3rd round. I'm drafting this guy for traits. He's got high upside. He's explosive, fun to watch. And hopefully he gets on somewhere where he can get an opportunity, because if he does, he might break out. So I'm going Jamar Jefferson with my 3rd round pick. Ben, you're on the clock.
Yeah, look, I'm going to take this guy really just because, as Shane said earlier, draft capital is king, and I think on the board this guy's going to get round 2 draft capital, and that's Dyami Brown.
Oh, I wanted it.
Okay, all right, so there we go. We have a Dyami Brown, North Carolina, off the board, and now with the next pick, we have Kyle, your 2nd team. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with let me make sure he's available. I'm going to go with Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver from Western Michigan. He's small school guy, played in the MAC. He had a really good Senior Bowl. Smaller guy, just electric athlete. And in the 3rd round, taking a chance on a guy like that is generally what I like to do. He's small school guy, so kind of a little under the radar until he made some noise there to Senior Bowl, and he's converted corner too, so like all kinds of stuff going on. But yeah, Dwayne Eskridge.
All right, so Dwayne Eskridge is off the board. With the next pick, we have Rich. Go ahead, my friend. You hear me, Rich?
Oh, he's muted.
Man, I did all that talking for nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna start building up my running back depth. I want to start getting some players that I could put on taxi squad and see how they develop based off the team that they go to. So with this pick, I went with Elijah Mitchell.
Ooh, like it.
All right, Elijah Mitchell off the board. There he goes in the third round. Shane, you are back on the clock. Go ahead.
So, I see one more player here that I think is going to get top 75 draft capital that I think everyone's kind of sleeping on just in terms of how high he can go. And that's Amari Rodgers, wide receiver for Clemson. He's going to go high. And I think the NFL likes him a lot. His dad, T. Martin, former Tennessee quarterback, is now the wide receiver coach for the Baltimore Ravens, who just traded for pick 31. I'm just saying, maybe you can get his son drafted in the first round. I don't know. But I think Amari Rodgers is going to be a solid slot receiver. And for a third-round pick, I want a guy that's going to get on the field. I think he could be this year's kind of Van Jefferson, going higher than some of these receivers that we've already taken and thought are better than him. But if he goes to a good spot, it's worth the pick here.
Man, that was my selection. I had it penciled in. I honestly didn't think he was going to go here. Piggybacking off of what you said about Amari Rodgers, I think you could see similar production of what people are expecting from Kenneth Gainwell. I think you could see, I know he plays wide receiver, but they were using him out of the backfield at his pro day. And I think he can do a little bit of it all, man. He's tough. Like, the dude is built very well. And I'm excited to see how he's used in the NFL. Taking him in the third round for a high upside play, I think that's excellent. So I love that pick. I'm kind of frustrated because right now I'm just talking because I'm processing what's going on. So I'm just really thinking. I'm trying to find myself time. Oh, man. I think I'm going to go to the one. I'm going to draft an Auburn wide receiver here. And I think the guy I'm going to go with is Schwartz, Anthony Schwartz. I think going into the year, the buzz really was on Seth Williams because that guy, the way he's put together, he just looks like a wide receiver one. But I think, of the two, I think Anthony Schwartz is the better play. I think he's got the better future, the higher ceiling, better upside. So, you got to give it to somebody who can catch 54 balls from Bo Nix. That guy is not very good. So give me Anthony Schwartz, wide receiver from Auburn. And I guess that's my rebound for missing out on Amari Rodgers. Mr. Laub, you were on the clock. Go ahead.
So I've started with two receivers, Bateman and St. Brown. So I have two options here. I can go tight end in the premium, but there's no one I love. There's interesting players, but Brevin Jordan was taken right after me. So I don't love, I think there's a big schism after the second and third tight end. So then I look at my running back, and there's one running back I have in my top 10 that's still on the board here. I don't necessarily think it's a great pick, but because of the way my roster is constructed, I'm willing to take this running back late in the third round. I'm going with Khalil Herbert of Virginia Tech. I like him a lot. Landing spot's going to matter. Draft capital, obviously. Maybe I'm hoping he's a third-round draft pick. Day 3, we know the odds become much less for success. But I love the film. I know he's a late breakout, but Kansas is a mess. If you got to put it into context, it's a program in disarray the whole time he's been there. He finally got to a legitimate program. He dominated the ACC. He can return kicks. So he has value on special teams. I like Khalil Herbert. I'll take him here.
I think with Khalil Herbert, I don't think he does anything great, but I think he does everything good.
I agree.
And that's okay. you know,
Yeah, that's okay.
That's fine. Like, especially if you go to a good situation. I missed that. What was that?
Oh, I didn't say anything unless someone else did.
Sorry, guys, I was on mute.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just think so I think that's a solid pick. If he goes somewhere with a great offense, a great quarterback, he's going to feast underneath. All right, so Ben, you're on the clock. Go ahead.
All right, I am going to take a tight end because I just really want to get this guy. And, third round rookie draft, fourth round rookie draft, doesn't really matter to me. Tommy Tremble.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Not on sleeper yet. Not on sleeper yet. So. But you can take him, but he's not there. So if Justin's looking for him right now, he's going to have a lot of problems.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy not there.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. So
Shane's just throwing shade at Sleeper right now.
Look. I'm an old man. I'm set in my ways. So Sleeper is the Gen Z of fantasy apps. So I don't think.
Tell him, Shane. Tell him.
Yeah, Ben. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm stealing your.
No, I don't want to be too harsh on Sleeper while we're using it here on the stream. That's all I'm saying. Just take like Sean Ryan or something as a placeholder, Justin.
There you go.
Alrighty. So I've been eyeballing this guy pretty much the whole entire season. I really like Seth Williams a lot. Comes out of Auburn. The guy's he's tall, he's big, he's heavy. This guy's the real deal. I think he's going to be able to. He's one of those guys that I feel like is very quiet in the draft, but I think can come out and make a real big impact in the NFL once he gets started. And I'm getting him right about here every single time too, real late in drafts. So I really like me some Seth Williams. I'm happy with my team right now. I'm happy.
I'm glad you're happy. That's what matters.
So Seth Williams off the board, and now with the second pick, Shane, you're up, my friend.
Yeah, so with the 402, I think once we hit this fourth round, obviously we had the big five quarterbacks go in the first, and then it's like nothing for 2 rounds. I think it's time to start taking some of those guys that can get day 2 draft capital, maybe get in a good spot, maybe be a Drew Lock or that kind of player that starts for a couple years, gives you some fantasy production. So I'm going to take my top player. May not be the flashiest of what's left, but I'm going to take Kyle Trask, the quarterback from Florida. I think the ball placement that he has is phenomenal. I think he still has a shot at round 2, but round 3, if he goes there as a backup in a good situation, gets a couple games, and this is a guy that didn't start in high school, didn't start till 2 years ago when Felipe Franks got hurt at Florida. So he still has a lot of learning to do, but really has that football mentality. So I'm happy to get him here.
All right, so there goes Trask. Kyle, you are on the clock. Go ahead.
I think it's me, my friend. Isn't the third team me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
Oh, no problem.
It's the witching hour, so I'm starting to lose.
No, I just didn't want to jump my turn if I made a mistake. There's a couple wide receivers I like here, and I thought Kyle Trask was interesting. I think that's kind of worth the pick. I agree with Shane there. He's in my queue. But I'm going to take Frank Darby, the wide receiver from Arizona State. I really wish we could have seen more of him this year, but he's 6 foot, 201 pounds, good athletic ability, not great, but he's close to the benchmarks that I'm looking for. The one stat that I love, I'm looking in the 4th round. I'm looking for a wide receiver with one skill that can stand out. He averaged 19.7 yards per catch. He tracks the ball extremely well deep. So he has one skill that an offensive coordinator might hang their hat on and design some plays for him deep down the field. So I'll take Darby. Let's see where he goes in the draft. Obviously, draft capital's going to impact his ultimate dynasty value. but I have him as my 16th ranked wide receiver. I like Darby.
All right, so Darby is off the board. In case you were looking to take him, Kyle, you're on the clock. Make your adjustments. Go ahead.
I think Shane made a good point about the top 5 quarterbacks going, and then here in the 4th we might see a couple more. He took Trask. I'm going to take a guy that I like, and Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M. He had a really nice career at A&M, I thought, and he's a guy. I think he's got a strong arm. He's mobile. He can make plays with his legs. He's got a little work to do going through his reads, I think, but he's a guy I'm interested to see where he lands and what round he goes in. Does he go day 2? So I think in the 4th round he's worth a shot here. See how that ends up.
Kellen Mond is gone. Shane, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You with me?
I'm here.
At what point last year did you start talking about James Robinson?
I have an article on Fake Pigskin from 2019, actually. So it was the summer of 2019. July 8th, 2019 was my article. The next David Johnson, James Robinson.
Nice.
All right. So you kind of predicted James Robinson. I didn't listen to you. I didn't roster him. But I do know there's a guy from Tiffin you've been talking about named Jaquan Hardy. And you predicted that he would be this year's James Robinson. I haven't watched anything. I don't know much about the guy, but I do know that you predicted James Robinson. You're predicted the next James Robinson. So give me Jaquan Hardy from Tiffin. I'm not going to let you take him because you went ahead and took Amari Rodgers, so I'm taking him. Tiffin Dragon. Give me Jaquan Hardy. He's probably not asleep.
He's probably not, but I thought at the 4 and 9, I'd definitely get Jaquan Hardy. So thanks, John. Thanks for doing that.
Not today. Justin, just give me a random running back. We'll put it in there. All right, Adrian Hardy, close, same last name. I like that. Hardy Bros. They can start their own podcast. All right, so Ben, you're on the.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to go for a toolsy guy who I think will get some decent draft capital and has some upside. Schwartz out of Auburn. Anthony Schwartz.
I think
gone.
took him.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
Third
not paying
round.
attention.
310.
I'll take my quarterback then, Jamie Newman. Yeah.
I missed
Sticking on
that.
a taxi squad for a
Who did
couple
you
of
take,
years.
Ben?
Jamie Newman.
Oh, Jamie Newman. Okay. So Jamie Newman is gone. Another quarterback, man. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks gone. It is super flex. So it kind of makes sense. So we're having a little bit of we had a quarterback run to start the draft. Now we got a little bit of one to end the draft. All right. Next man on the clock. Let me see here. We have Kyle, you're back up. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take a guy that I'm looking to take a dart throw on late in drafts here once we get rolling. That's Javian Hawkins out of Louisville. He's smaller back. He's not going to be a 3-down guy. He's going to be a complimentary back, but he's real elusive, shifty. He gets an opening. He's got breakaway speed, and one of those guys that's just a playmaker. And I'm going to take a chance on him late in drafts.
All right. There goes Javian Hawkins. All right, Rich, you're up. Go ahead. Unmute.
Nah, I hear you. I'm just reeling in Kyle just keeps on sniping me every freaking time, man. I mean, Hawkins is an explosive running back that home run threat, touch the ball and stuff like that. I'd like to see where he's going to go. Where he lands, I don't know. That's going to be real interesting, but now you kind of got me reeling and everything because of that. So I am going to go, since I haven't had a receiver, I'm going to go with Tamari and Terry.
All right, so Tamori and Terry, Florida State, off the board. Shane, you're back up. Go ahead.
Well, I think there's one more quarterback worth rostering that's left here, and I'll definitely take a shot. A guy that's appeared in the first round of some mock drafts, though he absolutely shouldn't. But I think he has some tools, even with his lack of experience. So I'm going to select Davis Mills, the quarterback out of Stanford. I think there's some traits there. There's some good games, some good ball placement. He has maybe a little more athletic ability than you'd think, 5-star recruit. So, but a lot of injuries and not a ton of experience. So I think he goes third round ultimately. And like I said before, I think this is where you can take those quarterback shots in super flex.
All right, so there goes Davis Mills. And I am back up. And because I don't have to worry about anybody taking one of these two players, because I am on the clock, I'm going to discuss both players I'm thinking about. Thinking about Jalen Darden from North Texas. I'm thinking about Daz Newsome from North Carolina. Both different players. With Darden, I see a little bit of a smaller Will Fuller. I think he has a little bit of Will Fuller upside, guy who can stretch the field. I think teams are going to take a flyer on him, probably in maybe the 5th or 6th round in the draft, and he might get an opportunity. And then with Daz Newsome, I kind of see a guy similar to, like Amari Rogers, Elijah Moore. I don't think he's as talented of a route runner as Moore. I don't think he's as physical as Amari Rogers, but I think he kind of blends a little bit of what they both do. He's an aggressive guy. He's got some nasty to him. And, man, it's tough right here. But, man, I think Daz has a higher floor. But I think Darden has a higher ceiling, if that makes sense. What am I going to go for here? Man, give me Daz Newsome. Des Bryant's my favorite player of all time. So Daz is a similar name. So give me Daz Newsome. I'm going to draft him here. And then, with next player on the clock, John Laub. Go ahead, my friend.
I got 2 receivers and a running back. There's no running back that I'm really enthralled with here. I think there's a bunch of flyers. That's 9 quarterbacks on the board. I'm not going to my 10th or 11th quarterback. So I'm going to go, my highest rated tight end remaining is Hunter Long of Boston College. I like Hunter Long here. I can sit on him. I'm going to pretend that I don't need him to play right away. I do think the NFL will like Hunter Long. He is a 3-down tight end. He's a good blocker at the line of scrimmage. I don't think his ceiling is tremendous, but I think he could be a 55-catch tight end for about 600 yards, maybe 5 to 7 touchdowns in the 4th round. I'll take Hunter Long here.
All right, Hunter Long. All it takes is whichever one of these tight ends ends up in LA with Justin Herbert. That's one you definitely want to take.
That would be sweet.
It could be anything now because there's a vacancy there. Bear, the final team to pick. Go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, I'm going to take a really boring running back. But, it's just a flyer. I think he's a career backup, but he'll fit well in a lot of schemes. And maybe if the starter gets hurt, I can flip him for a second in season. Larry Roundtree.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's another guy, I think, who, you went with Chuba Hubbard earlier, and he's a guy who I think people were higher on last year. And I think with Roundtree, it's very similar. People were higher on him last year, but he reminds me in this class, Roundtree, Khalil Herbert, those are both guys who do a little bit of everything. And, it could pan out with the last pick. Not too shabby. All right, gentlemen, we got 4 rounds done. We're at 1 hour and 3 minutes. I think we nailed this thing. And I'm very happy and excited that we were able to do this. I'm excited for the NFL draft, and I just want to thank you all. I'm going to kind of reintroduce the guests one at a time before we let them go. And first, Shane, you're the first one I brought in, and we're always blessed to have you with us. Go follow Shane on Twitter at Shane P. Hallam. Go check out his podcast, The Debbie Marketplace. Shane, when are you releasing your final mock draft?
Final mock draft will be out on Wednesday. My final top 100 will be out on Tuesday, I believe, on fakepigskin.com. So you can check it out. I hope people will. I'm already putting in the work, and think I have some good feels out there for that.
Who are the Cowboys taking?
Probably going to be Surtain. That's likely going to be the pick. I don't do trades, so unless maybe the Eagles trade in front of them and grab him from them, and then Cowboys fans can cry again. It'll be great.
All right, man. Well, if they trade in front of us for Surtain, that means we might get Pitt. So I don't know. But John won't like that. So Shane, we'll catch you later. We appreciate you.
See you guys. Great stuff.
And then the next guest, John, we brought him on. The Gridiron Scholar himself at Gridiron Scholar 91. It's been too long. We had you on early in the Toilets to Titles career here, and I was very grateful that I reached out to you this week. You were able to bless us with your time. You're full of NFL draft wisdom, and I suggest anybody who's listening to this show, what we give you guys is this. What John gives, go check out John's timeline. It's like a full course on NFL draft. So go follow this guy on there. I'm not just talking it up because he's on the show. Like, these are straight facts. So John, we're grateful to have you on, my guy.
Oh, thank you. And I'm also going to have my final mock draft up on Wednesday or Thursday. Kind of depends on my work schedule. And Coach, I know I did a mock draft earlier in the year. I know the Cowboys need defense. But if one of those top offensive linemen are there, they do need depth. I think Surtain's the pick, but Dallas does need some depth along the offensive line. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
I've narrowed it down to 4, honestly. I think it's Surtain, Slater, Sewell, or Pitts. I think it's one of those 4.
I think they take Slater. I don't think Sewell will be there. I don't think Sewell gets past Detroit.
Yeah, if Detroit is very likely to take one of the 2 offensive linemen. Hey, if Slater's there, that would be brilliant for Dallas, man. Brilliant. I love Slater.
That would be fantastic.
Put
him in the guard until
yes.
I like
the tackle retires. I can't even remember his name.
Tyron Smith.
Yeah, Tyron Smith.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. I had a blast tonight.
It's become Dallas Cowboys hour. But there is a picture circulating with Zach Martin and Rashawn Slater, so you never know. Maybe they're becoming buddies. But, John, thanks, man. We appreciate it. We'll catch you later on. And last but not least, Kyle Bellefeuil, our IDP expert. He's a friend of the show, brother of the show over at IDP Guys. Man, you've been on, I think this is your 4th or 5th time on the show. So besides Shane, I think like your second most guest appearances, man. So we love having you on. And we're definitely going to be doing an IDP rookie mock. We're going to have I don't even have that on the show schedule, but I'm going to set that up, man. We need to do a 2-round rookie mock. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely,
that would be awesome.
Man. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, for sure. Always a great time. Appreciate you guys reaching out and having me on. It was great meeting you guys that I haven't met before. This was a lot of fun. And, dude, I'm just ready for the draft, right? This is –
absolutely.
Never
stick Kyle in front of me again.
Who's your number one rookie IDP?
Micah Parsons is my number 1. Yeah.
Nice. Good one.
Yeah. He's got the total package, man. He's quite the athlete. He's good against the run. He's an excellent blitzer. He can hold up in coverage. And I'm curious to see when he goes, too, because is it
the Raiders? The Raiders.
Raiders? Okay.
I'm just worried that he's so versatile. He ends up in like that Anthony Barr type role and doesn't put up the crazy IDP stats that you might want.
Sure. Yeah, it depends what scheme he goes to. They use him a lot as a blitzer where he can do a lot of things, like you said. Absolutely. And it's going to be a really fun a draft IDP wise. These defensive players, this edge class, like the ranges they could go are crazy. So
they're all over the board. Who's your number 1 edge?
Right now, I'm battling with myself between Jalen Phillips and I really like Ojulari out of Georgia. Those 2 guys. It's a pretty fluid ranking for the edge class because they're different and it's all over.
I think if Phillips hadn't had the injury stuff.
Right,
he'd be the number 1.
I think the upside is just huge with Phillips. He was great this year. Like you said, without the injury, he was the number 1 recruit in the nation coming out. And really like Phillips. It's defensive class, the linebacker class here. Not to go on a tangent on IDP, the linebacker class is the strength of the IDP class. And I'm really anxious to see where a lot of those guys end up because there's some really good players at linebacker. But yeah, thanks again, guys. This was great.
I'm going to say 2 things about linebackers before you leave.
Yep.
2 things about linebackers. First thing, there are some strange skeletons in the Micah Parsons closet. All right?
Yes.
I'm not going to touch on it too much, but
right.
Go look him up. I was all over Parsons to DOS. I love his film. I love his aggressiveness, but the dude has some skeletons in his closet. And that cannot be. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy falls outside the top 20. With and that might sound crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised with that. That being said, Jamin Davis, Kentucky, that's a guy who's rising. He's a tackle machine, sideline. That is an IUP linebacker to know. He might climb all the way up to the top 25. He's a guy who about a month ago was in the 3rd round. Watch, he's going to go in the 1st round on Thursday night. So those are 2 IDP plugs right there.
I love it.
Sorry, Carl.
No, go ahead, Ben. Absolutely.
I was just going to say, he could be the 101 depending on the scheme Parsons ends up in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then I agree, John. Parsons, there's some baggage there that I'm, not sure exactly what to think of it exactly. But, yeah, definitely a concern. And I know I said this last time I was on. We talked IDPs. I'm a big Nico Collins fan, and I'm really excited to see where he goes. That guy is 6'4", 260, moves fluidly. He can cover. He's explosive downhill. He can blow up those the running back screen game. He can blitz. I'm really excited to see where a lot of these guys go and the schemes they fit. So really, just bring on the draft, man. I'm ready.
We just spent 10 minutes talking IDP. We just spent 10 minutes talking IDP. It's clear and evident that we need to do an IDP rookie mock. We're going to step that up. So all you guys listening,
let's do it, man. I can keep going. I'm reeling it in here. I love it.
Love it.
You get your boys. I'll get my boys. We'll do the thing.
Yeah,
all right.
Let's
So
do
Kyle,
it,
we'll catch you later on, and then for the rest of the T2 crew. Oh, I got you. I got Justin to my left or right. I got Rich. I got Ben, and I got the newest member, Mr. Dirty Jobs himself, Mike D. Everybody, I hope you guys have a good night. And we'll be talking to you Sunday night. We got Matt Waldman coming on. We're going to be talking about, top prospects in this class. And then Thursday, we're going to be streaming live during this NFL draft, just having some fun.
Appreciate it.